The only name forever and forever that is his name is I am. So that is my name forever. So when you come to the people of Israel and they ask you what is his name, just simply say, I am. That is who I am.
According to Neville Goddard, God is I am, which means conscious of being or awareness of being. Now, for those who may not know who Neville Goddard is a spiritual teacher and author who taught that manifestation is a powerful process that can be achieved by using your imagination. Now in this video, I'm going to talk about how to speak to God for you to get whatever that you want. Now, I'm not so sure about which title I'm going to use. Maybe I used how to talk to the universe, but I'm not going to talk about the universe because I believe the universe is a creation and not the creator. So whatever that you want, you don't get from the universe as per se, but you get it from God, who is the source of everything. Now, knowing that God is conscious of being, he is spirit, okay? It's not something that you can touch. It's not something that you can see with your own physical eyes. So anything physical does not matter when communicating with God. You have to communicate with God from within. And that's where we have to define what is prayer. Now, prayer is the subjective appropriation of the objective hope. At least that's how Neville Goddard defined it. The objective appropriation of the objective hope. Now, how do you do that? What does that mean? It means before you want something, you have to know exactly what you want. And you have to appropriate it using your own imagination. You have to visualize yourself already having what you want before you actually have it. Now that is how you do it. That is you communicating with the source. Now, where is this coming from? Well, there is a verse in the Bible. When you pray, believe you have received and you shall have it. So in other words, you are appropriating yourself to have what you're seeking and then you have it. Now, if you understand this carefully, it aligns with the principle as within, so without, which is a hermetic principle that says the internal of an individual influence the external environment, which means your internal, your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and spirit influences your outside environment. So for you to have what you want, you have to appropriate it within, which means your thoughts, emotions, beliefs should reflect that you already are that person or you already have that thing before that is reflected on the screen of space. Now, Neville Goddard himself, he said that this physical world is nothing but a shadow. And I've heard so many spiritual teachers as well saying that the physical world is nothing but a delayed reaction of the invisible. Now, as human beings, we have a soul, a spirit, and a body. Now, the soul is the gateway to the invisible realm. And for us to communicate with God, we have to communicate with him from a soul level, not from a body level. So for us to actually manifest, to ask him what we want, we are told we have to occupy that thing on a soul level, and then it shall be reflected on this physical level. Now, that is what is meant by the subjective appropriation of the objective hope. Believe you have received, and then you shall have it. Now, other people may want to say it in a way that is a little bit different, but it's the same thing. Other spiritual gurus, they've said that the language of the source, the language of God, is yes. Yes to what? Yes to your energy. Yes to your frequency. If you reflect a frequency of lack, that frequency will be reflected on the screen of space. That is what you're sowing, and that is what you will reap. Now let's get to what is it that we need to do to appropriate this vision of self that we want to manifest subjectively. So first of all, we have visualization, the use of imagination. Now what's fascinating about the use of imagination is that you can put yourself in any state. You are not limited, unlike the physical, where you need to touch something or to see something physically for you to believe it. No, with the imagination, you can put yourself in whatever state that you want. You want to be a billionaire? See yourself as a billionaire. You can. You want to be the greatest performer of all time? You can see yourself on a stage performing whatever that you want. You are the limit, okay? There's no limit in terms of your imagination. So that's one thing that is so fascinating about it. So you can easily appropriate the state that you're seeking subjectively. So with imagination, you create a scene that implies that you already are the person that you want to be. That way, it's easy for you to vibrate at a frequency that reflects that you already have it. So let's say you want to manifest financial freedom. You have to occupy that state in the invisible first, and then that state will be reflected on the screen of space. Remember, the physical is the delayed reaction of the invisible. So when you occupy that state, using your imagination, going all the way where you feel yourself to be in that state, the energy and the frequency that you're sending out there will be reflected on the screen of space. Because all this source is going to do is to say yes to that frequency, yes to that energy, and you will reap that frequency on the screen of space. So you have to understand that we don't communicate with God using our words, but by that which is invisible. That is how we communicate with the invisible. Now, we also have affirmations. For those who may have a hard time to make use of their own imagination, we have affirmations. And affirmations are positive statements that declare a specific intention or goal. Now, I want to highlight declare. They declare a specific intention or goal. So when you make use of affirmations, that statement of declare means that your posture when affirming that you are the person that you want to be, or you have the thing that you want to have, should reflect that this is a declaration. This is not you begging. This is not you saying it in a way that's like you're not so sure if it's going to happen or whatsoever. Because remember, everything goes back to energy and frequency. So if you do it poorly, the frequency is going to reflect that. And that is what you're going to get. It's either you're hot or you're cold. So when making that declaration, you have to be intense about it. It has to reflect that you are indeed making a declaration that you are healthy. And when doing that, you easily occupy the state that you want to be reflected on the screen of space. It's easy to send out that energy and that frequency that you are the person that you want to be. Because the whole point is for you to occupy that state internally. It's for your energy and your frequency to reflect that you already are the person that you want to be. When you do that, that state will be reflected on the screen of space. Now, there's another thing that you should make use of before you even do the affirmations or make use of your imagination. This is something that I actually applied recently, and it works like a charm. So before you actually get to that point where you're like, I want to pray, before you even do anything, you have to have a sense of knowing that He rewards those who seek Him. You should have a knowing that if you want health, where you are going, you're going to get the health. If you want financial freedom, before you actually pray, have that knowing that if I communicate with Him, I am going to get it. First and foremost. So the whole thing, I would say, number one, know exactly what you want. Be specific. Now, before you actually pray, have a sense of knowing. If I pray, I'm going to get that help. Like, there's nowhere else I can get that help. He is the source of everything. So I am going to get that help. All I need to do is to have the subjective appropriation of the objective hope. I should know and believe that I have it, then I will receive it. Now, I'm not saying people should not make use of words when they are praying or when they want to communicate with God. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying what determines whether you're going to receive it or not is the state that you're occupying in the invisible. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. We should not forget that. So when communicating with something or someone who is spiritual, we should do it spiritually, not physically. Now, what's left for you to do after you have occupied the state of the fulfilled desire is to let go. Don't be bothered by this 3D physical world. Just act as if it's already done. Don't be concerned. Don't worry about it too much. That state which you are occupying will be reflected on a screen of space. That's it. Now let's conclude. How do you communicate with God? Number 1, be specific. Know exactly what you want. Number 2, have a sense of knowing that God rewards those who seek Him. That which you are seeking, you're going to receive. Number 3, occupy the state that you're seeking in the invisible and be intense about it. Number 4, let go and trust that it is done. Number 5, repeat the process from number 2 until it manifests. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day.